Hello, good morning. This is Christine. I'm here to share with you the cards I made from the Flavor of the Month card kit for November 2017. The theme was Sending Thanks. These kits are put out by Scrapping for Less. And seems a little late for November cards, but these kits are released at the end of the month, so you receive them kind of the first week of the following month. So for me, this card kit was released at the end of November and I received it the first part of December. With the holidays and everything, I didn't get around really to making anything until recently. So I made 4 cards from each collection. Right now I'll just show you what I created. Just using some pattern paper. I cut a little strip here. I love this little flower detail, the pattern paper with the little hearts. Thought this was kind of a nice settle card for Valentine's Day coming up soon. This collection also had this hot air balloon paper, and I did receive some of the paper die cuts. This one is the hot air balloon. I just put those together. The stamp that came with this kit was a flower, and the sentiment was one of a kind. Some of the papers didn't really go with the stamp, so I've just used the pattern paper on its own so that I could just create the 4 cards only using that one collection. Here's a sample of what that stamp was. This is the flower, and this was the sentiment, one of a kind. So with this card, I used some of the pattern paper that came with the collection, stamped one of a kind. Die cut this piece out with one of my favorite things dies, stamped and colored the flower, and added a couple of sequins that came with the collection. And lastly is this pretty card. I loved the pattern paper, came in the collection along with this ribbon, and this paper die cut. It says, "I am a girl, I am strong, and I am smart, and I can do anything." And on these little hearts down at the bottom, I did add some glossy accents. All these cards just have a blank white mat in the center. So those were the 4 cards I used I made using collection 1. The paper in that kit was Just Be You by Echo Park, and the stamp was One of a Kind by Alt New. Because I received the banana split level, I also received the ephemera, the ribbon, and the sequins. Don't know why sometimes that word gives me a hard time. Collection 2 used Pick and Mix by First Edition Papers with a Missing You stamp by Sunny Studio. So the first card I made was this thank you card. This is a die that came with the banana split level. The stamp set that came in this collection had the word you, missing, for, and thank. So obviously you could create your own with that, but the letters on it were quite small, so I used the die that came with the banana split level. So this is the first card I created. I stamped and fussy cut out the little sheep there, and thank you. Next I used Missing You, and this is from that stamp set. Again, I cut out, or stamped and fussy cut out the little sheep. These are the pattern papers, and this collection came with these 4 little butterfly stickers. You can see there's a lot of dimension to them. They're super pretty. Really loved them. So that was the second card I made. The third one was this fun foily shaker type card. Again, Missing You. This is one of the little sheep stamps in that little set. Stamped, colored, fussy cut him out, and I added a little glossy accents to his nose. And it's just a little shaker card with some of the sequins that came with that collection. And lastly is another thank you card. Very, very similar to the first card I showed you. I really loved this pattern paper, and I wanted to just showcase it. I wish I had some more. It's really pretty. It's got some texture to it. It's glittery. It's kind of shiny, And again, some more of that little foily heart-shaped paper behind the little sheep. So that was collection 2. Collection 3 used Geometric Mono by Paper Mania Papers and Peacock Feather Stamp by Deep Red. So here's the stamp that came in that collection. I stamped it down and he embossed it with some platinum embossing powder. These little photo corners came in the kit, so I decided to use them on that, along with adding some sequins that also came with the kit, and used the thank you die that came with the banana split level, and also he embossed that with the same embossing powder as that feather. This one I made a shaker card with. Cut out the thank you, and I don't know if you can see in there, but I stamped that peacock feather, embossed it again with that same embossing powder from the other card. Thank you, and just glued that up at the top. These are all thank you cards because that peacock feather is the only stamp that came in it, and it didn't have any sentiments, so I used the die for all of these cards. I really loved the papers that came with this kit, or this collection, and I just finished up using the 2 photo corners. The kit came with, I think, 6, so yeah, 6, because I used 4 on the other one and these 2, and they weren't the same number versus the gold and the black, so I kind of mixed them up. And you can tell this paper has a little foil on it. It's really pretty. And the last card for here, I stamped out that peacock feather again, embossed it, cut out the thank you, embossed that as well, and the kit came with some silver and gold thread that I glued behind the peacock feather with this pattern paper. There's some little foily parts to it. Really pretty. So that was collection 3. Collection 4 used wood grain paper by My Mind's Eye and a Cup of Thanks stamp by Brutus Monroe. So again, I made another shaker, a Cup of Thanks. Can't really see it on camera, but inside here I used some Distress ink, and the stamp set has some coffee beans that I stamped in the back, and used the matching sequins that came with the kit, stamped and fussy cut out the cups, a Cup of Thanks. This card here, I used the different parts from the stamp set just to create my own background, very simple card, and again, a Cup of Thanks. Pretty sure that's the only sentiment that came in that card kit. This sticker here, that came in this collection. It doesn't really kind of go with the stamp set, but I was able to use just the word thanks, and I added the little flower details, a couple of sequins on some of this wood grain paper. I think it's really pretty, and I like the way that that came out. And lastly, another coffee themed paper. I used some of that wood grain paper, stamped and cut out the coffee cups, a Cup of Thanks, and just added some of the sequins. So all these cards were pretty simple to make. And I have lots of extra papers and things left from the kit, so I'll just show you real quick. So the collection 1, this is the Alt New stamp, one of a kind. I have some paper left, some little strips, a couple of 6x6. I have ribbon left, and the package of sequins. For the second collection, I have some sequins. It came with this fence piece. It's kind of thick. I don't know if I'd use it on a card. Might use to save that for scrapbooking. The stamp set, and then I don't have any full sheets of paper, but I do have a couple of strips of paper, and this is mostly a full piece of paper. that peacock feather stamp is here. I have a couple of sheets of the 6x6 paper and some sequins that I can add to my stash. And lastly, this one here, I have lots of sheets of the 6x6 paper that came with it, the stamp set. This came along with that flower jar sticker and sequins. The thank you and the flower jar and the wood grain, this little collection just seemed a little, it was hard to use because I didn't really, for my imagination, it was hard to get the wood grain with the coffee and these thank you parts. They didn't seem to quite all go together for me. Also, you get in these kits paper. So what I have left of the paper is just this red cardstock that I cut for some card bases, but I didn't feel that the red kind of matched any of the kits, but it's really nice paper, so I am going to just put that back into my stash. And I have 3 full sheets of the Neenah White paper that comes in the kit. I also have all 4 of the envelopes. Now, because I did get the banana split level, you do get a couple of little extras here. So we got some little buttons, some Nuvo drops. This is silver lining Nuvo drops. They're like a little silver color, metallic. Obviously, that's what the name says. You get this cute as a button stamp set from Sunny Studio. And this is the die that you saw throughout most of my cards. This is thank you, and it also has this little flower. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next video showing the December kit. Thank you.